Last week we mentioned that this was the first weekend of the IEC pushing voter registrations ahead of the elections next year, and it seems it's gone well.
Yeah, remember when we spoke about it last week, we spoke about their target being, or the campaign being 1 million more.
Yeah.
And I think that they've actually exceeded that.
So it turns out over the weekend, the IEC was having a briefing now, 4 o'clock this afternoon. So this is just out. They reckon that more than 2.7 million people came through to visit a voting registration table over the weekend. It's a huge uptick. There's been a huge pile of new voters, which we will get into as well. Obviously, lots of people would come along and, update details. Ek het getrek. I just want to check my registration is correct. Have you got my ID number correctly? Am I in the right place, the right voters roll, and so on. But 2.7 million people over the weekend, that's nothing to be sneered at.
Ja, absoluut. En weet jy wat, ek dink die aanlyn registrasieproses was ook, iemand het vir my gesê, hulle het geregistreer en dit het letterlik soos minder as 5 minute gevat. So ek dink die feit dat mense dit ook van hulle rekenaars kan doen, of hulle foon, of wat ook al, het dit net al hoe meer gerieflik gemaak, en daai mense kan nou stem in die verkiesing.
Yeah, I did it a couple of years ago, the online registration portal. And it's open, by the way. It's open 24/7, 365. You can check your details all the way through to the start of the elections at the moment. But the one thing that was really interesting is that there were 570,000 new voters registered. So people who weren't on the system. So more than 500,000 people came through who weren't on the system and are now. And here's the interesting bits. Okay, young people between the ages of 16 and 19 account for 78% of that vote. So amper 500,000 mense, meeste van hulle onder 19 jaar oud.
Ek dink 30 jaar na demokrasie is mos nou 2024, nee. Ek dink hierdie verkiesing gaan rarig 'n watershed moment wees in Suid-Afrikaanse geskiedenis. I just think people now are taking their vote quite seriously and going, you know what, we're not happy and we can change it if we're not happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen to 80% of 500,000 plus new voters being that young. The majority of those, more than 300,000, were female voters registered in as well. Gauteng reckon they've registered 600,000 new voters over this period. So not new as in never voted before, but new to Gauteng in terms of voting. So that's going to have an impact. I'm very curious to see where this massive young people are going to vote.
Ja, ek dink dit is tyd vir 'n verandering.
I mean, dis die generasie, die politiese nuus, the discussion, everything. Like, it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, it's not traditional media, it's not the old spaces. I can't see how many people are coming through wanting legacy political parties, for example. Ek weet net nie,
Ja.
Dit gaan interessant wees.
I think that exactly what you just said about the fact that there are so many platforms to engage with the politics of the country in a way that is relatable to younger people, that breek dit vir hulle af, that they can see it and they can engage with it in a way that they understand and in a way that is kind of palatable to them, so they are able to form their opinions and they are able to go, okay, this is what I want to, the direction that I want to go in with my vote, and my vote will make a difference.
Yeah. So we will see, but voter registration weekend has gone well, so well done the IEC for managing to open 20,000 plus voting stations around the country for 2 days. Glad to see people got out and got involved. I hope you were one of them. I hope you've checked your details. And as Rosie said earlier, that online roll is open. You can go and do it at any time. Go and vote.
Jacaranda FM.